Have you ever noticed this before? Many words can end with sang, and some of those are using this specific form. Now, originally, this sang we're going to be talking about comes from a Hanja, sang, which means on top or above. In fact, I will link a video in the description that is all about how to use this Hanja, as well as some words it appears in. So this specific usage attaches after other Hanja words, other words that originally come from the Chinese language. And this form is one that I've never been able to learn from books, and I figured it out actually just by hearing it used a lot, and then wanted to make a lesson about it because I'm sure there's at least one of you out there who's seen this before and wondering what the heck it is. So to save you a lot of time, this is an advanced concept, and it's used to create very advanced words in Korean, but you will still hear them sometimes. And I also want to say that you do not need to learn this specific form to use the words. Just learn the words that you see that use this at the end, and that'll be enough. So what does this mean? Well, this means something that's related to or according to whatever word it comes after. So if you have a word and then sang, it's like related to or according to that word. So again, related to, according to. So this will make more sense when you see a few examples. So let's take a word that's already fairly advanced. 문맥. 문맥 is a context. So you need context when you're speaking Korean. 문맥상. So 문맥, context. 상, something that's related to something. So what would be related to context? This would be like a crossword puzzle. One word related to context. Well, this would be contextual, which is more of an advanced word than just context. But the usage is slightly different. So the way that you use words that end with sang is you can either use them as an adjective simply by adding a space, or optionally by attaching the particle 의, or you can use these as an adverb by attaching 으로. So the word with sang as an adjective, or 상으로 if you want to use it as an adverb before a verb. So if we were to use this as an adjective, contextual, well, what could you think of that would be contextual in English? Maybe like a contextual clue, or what could you do contextually? Well, this is one of the reasons, maybe the only reason why this is more of an advanced form, because the words that you get are going to be used in more advanced sentences. Now, I understand that related to or according to is a little bit complicated. Well, it might be to you, maybe that actually is the best way for you to hear it. But I have a couple other ways you can also think about it in your head, and that is as it relates to word. So, as it relates to the context, or from a word standpoint. In this case, 문맥상, from a context standpoint, or just aspect. So, context, aspect. So, as it relates to the word from a word standpoint, or just an aspect of that word. Remember again, 상 means above or on top, so it's kind of like literally you're from a higher position. In that way, it's like from a standpoint. So that's how you get the meaning of like from a word standpoint. So it's kind of like on, right? On, above, like on the matter of word. So I'm going to be giving you a few examples, but again, I want to remind you, you do not need to master this form separately. Just be able to recognize the words when you see them that end with sang, and you can know that it's this usage. The first word is 어원, which means a root word. So if we attach sang, we get 어원상. 어원상 is related to a root word. So what would be something related to a root word? Well, that would be the word etymologic. I can't even pronounce that. Etymologic, yeah. You're probably saying it in your head better than I am right now. So this would be something related to root words. So maybe you could use it like this, 어원상으로, which would be etymologically, as it relates to root words. You can see why it's more of an advanced form, because you're not going to be using the word etymologically very often, but now you can understand this word when you see it. Here's a easier one. 문법 is grammar. You probably knew that word. 문법상. So as it relates to grammar, right? Something that's related to grammar from a grammar standpoint, we would say grammatical. You can have, like, for example, if we use this as an adjective, 실수 means a mistake or an error. 문법상 실수. So a grammatical mistake. You're not just saying grammar mistake, which you could say 문법 실수, a grammar mistake, but now you're saying a mistake as it relates to grammar. So a mistake from a grammar point of view, a mistake with a grammar aspect. So this is a grammatical mistake, a mistake from a grammar standpoint. Or we could use this as an adverb. So now we have grammatically. But again, this is more like as it relates to grammar. This isn't the same as another word you might be wondering about right now, 문법적으로, which also means grammatically. This 적 is a separate hanja, which I also have a lesson about, which I'll link in the video description. This 적 means something that has the properties of something. So basically like similar to or like. So this would be like grammar-like, similar to grammar, like that sort of meaning. Although you'll probably use 문법적 more often. Okay, the next one is 위치. 위치 is a location, so 위치상 means something that relates to the location. I have to look because these aren't even common English words. Positional or postural. For example, if you're talking about like the location of something and you're saying 위치상으로 생각하면, so if you think about it as it relates to the location is what you're saying, from a location point of view, from a location standpoint like that, this would be like if you think about it as it relates to the location. So it's a more advanced way of just saying if you think about the location. So this, due to sound change rules, becomes 법률. So 법률상, like that. You can have 법률상, which is law, so related to law, or from a law or legal standpoint. So 법률상으로 means legally, from a legal standpoint. Then you can say maybe to think about it. So if you think about it from a legal standpoint, it's a very fancy sounding sentence, but you will hear sentences that use this form. Let's do a partial sentence here. 원칙상. 원칙 is a principle or a rule. So 원칙상으로 그렇게 할 수 없지만. So 할 수 없지만, you can't do it 그렇게 like that. From a principle standpoint, or as it relates to the rules, or we would just say, you can't do that on principle. 원칙상으로 그렇게 할 수 없지만, you can't do that on principle. So have you ever noticed this ending used before? Let me know which word you saw it on in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another episode. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!